What if I told you your every decision hasn't been yours? Because they were not yours. Most people like to believe they think for themselves. They like to believe their opinions are the result of logic, experience, and free choice. But if you replayed the last year of your life in slow motion, you would see something uncomfortable. Your mind reacting before you decided anything. You felt guilty and said yes without knowing why. You defended people who never earned it. You chased those who treated you badly and ignored those who were stable. You thought you were choosing, but your nervous system was being steered. Not by magic, by patterns, by tactics that target the automatic shortcuts built into every human brain. The darkest part is not that manipulators exist. The darkest part is that the tactics they use are simple, repeatable, and already around you every day. In arguments at work, in long paragraph texts from partners, in sudden kindness from people who barely noticed you before, in silence that makes you talk too much, in compliments that feel like pure light until the person who gave them suddenly turns cold. The truth is painful. You do not rise above human psychology just because you think you are smart. Intelligence does not cancel bias. Self-esteem does not cancel emotional reflexes. Confidence does not cancel the need to feel chosen, safe, and right. This video walks straight into that reality. You will see 15 tactics that do not attack your logic. They go around it. They target the parts of you that evolved to survive groups, avoid shame, and seek belonging. These tactics are already in use by controlling partners, guilt-tripping friends, two-faced coworkers, charming manipulators, and some very strategic strangers. You have probably felt their effects without having the words for what was being done to you. That confusion is not an accident. Power grows best when the target cannot name what is happening. You are not watching this to become a saint. I hope you are not. Once you see how these tactics work, you will notice the moment someone starts manufacturing resentment between you and another person. You will spot fake kindness that comes with a hidden bill. You will feel your guilt rise on command and still choose not to obey it. You will understand why some people want you emotional, reactive, and loud, while they stay calm and innocent. And you will learn the real skill that separates those who get used from those who quietly hold the frame. Emotional control under pressure. So let's begin. And subscribe before you forget and lose this only channel revealing well-researched dark psychology secrets. Argument reversal sabotage. Argument reversal sabotage looks harmless from the outside. It starts with someone pretending to be fair, calm, and even slightly protective of a person or idea you already dislike. You say you cannot stand a coworker. They answer with something soft like, "I mean, maybe they are not that bad. They are probably trying their best." It sounds reasonable. It sounds kind, but it is a trap disguised as balance. In that moment, your brain feels the need to correct them. You start listing everything that is wrong with that coworker, every failure, every disrespectful action, every time they made your life harder. Psychology has seen this pattern many times. People are far more persuaded by arguments they invent themselves than by arguments given to them. Leon Festinger called it cognitive dissonance. When your words, actions, and self-image do not match, your brain feels uncomfortable and works hard to close the gap. So when you speak strongly against someone, you do not just describe your opinion. You start to reshape your identity around it. You are no longer just annoyed. You become the kind of person who knows this person is selfish, dangerous, or incompetent. The more you argue, the more committed you feel. The person using argument reversal sabotage understands this. They do not push you. They do not add their own insults. They simply defend lightly and let you correct them. Every time you repeat or upgrade your criticism, you emotionally invest more. What might have started as mild irritation grows into full resentment, and you feel it as your own conclusion. They look balanced. You look heated, certain, and maybe even extreme. They keep their hands clean while you do the dirty emotional work. The danger is what happens over time. If this technique is used repeatedly about the same target, your dislike solidifies into something almost permanent. Your brain will begin to filter new information to match what you have already said. This is called confirmation bias. You will notice every small mistake that supports the story you built and ignore or explain away anything good. The manipulator does not have to attack that person directly. All they do is tilt you a few degrees away from them, again and again, until a friendship, team, or partnership quietly falls apart. To spot this tactic, watch how often someone takes the fake middle road. They defend a person you dislike, just enough to make you talk more, not enough to fix anything. They look morally high, but conflict grows around them wherever they go. When that happens, pause. Ask yourself, do I need to keep arguing? Or am I being used to destroy someone who is not in the room to defend themselves? The fastest defense against argument reversal sabotage is simple. Stop trying to convince the person who keeps pretending not to understand. Save your energy. Do not do their sabotage for them. 2. The charm offensive. The charm offensive does not look dark at the start. It looks flattering. Someone suddenly becomes very interested in you. They remember tiny details you shared once and never thought about again. They offer help you did not ask for. They praise your ideas in meetings. They defend you when others stay quiet. They send kind messages, check on you when you are stressed, and tell you how impressive, strong, or special you are. Most people call this kindness. Your nervous system calls it safety. It relaxes around them, and that is exactly the point. Humans are wired for reciprocity. Robert Cialdini showed that when someone does a favor, large or small, there is a natural pressure to return it. It is automatic. You do not sit down and think, now I owe this person. You just feel slightly uncomfortable staying in their debt. The charm offensive maximizes that discomfort. The person using it creates a strong imbalance. They are always doing something for you. They offer rides. They cover for you. They celebrate your wins louder than you do. Soon the idea of saying no to them feels rude, almost cruel. After all, they have been so good to you. This tactic also hits the halo effect. When someone seems warm and generous, the brain quickly fills in the blanks. This person must also be honest, loyal, and safe. You stop checking. You stop questioning. You explain away small red flags because they do not match the glowing image in your head. By the time you see that their kindness is strategic, you are already tied to them socially, emotionally, or financially. They might be your go-to support, your key reference at work, your closest listener, or the person you trust with your secrets. The real test of a charm offensive comes when you stop feeding it. The moment you decline a favor, the moment you set a boundary, the moment you disagree. If the charm was genuine, respect stays and behavior remains stable. If it was a tactic, the mask cracks. You may see guilt trips, sudden coldness, subtle punishments, or stories spread behind your back. They might say you changed, or that you are ungrateful. In truth, they are angry that the debt they built is not buying the control they wanted. To protect yourself, change the question you ask about nice people. Do not only ask, are they kind? Ask, how do they handle no? A person who turns hostile, dramatic, or sulking the first time you do not give them what you want was never kind. They were investing. You were the project. Their charm was just the down payment on future control. The stronger your need to be seen as good, loyal, and appreciative, the easier it is for this tactic to own you. Learn to accept kindness without signing an invisible contract. You owe basic respect, not obedience. 3. Insinuation planting. Insinuation planting does not attack you directly. It attacks your peace of mind. Someone throws a small, vague hint into your world and then refuses to give clear answers. They might say something like, "There are things people say about you that I do not feel comfortable repeating." Then they shut down. No names, no details, no facts, just a shadow. Your brain, which was calm a second ago, is now on high alert. What did they mean? Who is talking? What did I do? Why will they not just tell me? George Lowenstein called this the information gap. When you notice a gap between what you know and what you feel you need to know, curiosity starts to burn. It is not a soft interest. It is an itch that demands scratching. The brain hates unfinished threats and social uncertainty. From an evolutionary angle, not knowing who in a group is against you meant danger, so your mind starts to work overtime. You replay conversations. You scan faces. You look for signs you missed. Sleep gets lighter. Small comments now feel loaded. The person who planted the insinuation watches this happen. They now own something important: your need for clarity. They can control you without saying anything else. At work, they might hint that management is unhappy with you, but not say who or why. In relationships, they might claim that someone close to you criticized you, but refuse to reveal what was said. In friendships, they might imply they protected you from harsh comments. They look loyal and protective, while secretly feeding your anxiety. The real power of insinuation planting shows up in groups. A vague comment about what your partner supposedly said. A hint about a secret meeting at work. A suggestion that a friend finds you difficult. No direct accusation. Nothing you can quote. Nothing you can challenge without seeming paranoid. If you confront them, they can easily retreat. They were just trying to look out for you. Maybe you are overreacting. Maybe you are too sensitive. The result is isolation and self-doubt while they keep their image clean. To defend yourself, learn to recognize when a statement raises tension without offering facts. Ask direct questions. Who said this? What exactly was said? When did this happen? If the person resists clear answers and hides behind emotion, you are not being helped. You are being managed. You have the right to treat unclear danger as no danger until real evidence appears. Do not let your mind be turned into a stage where someone else plants shadows and makes you chase them. The more comfortable you become with saying, "If you will not be specific, I will not react," the harder it is to control you with hints and half-truths. Silent lie pressure. Silent lie pressure looks simple from the outside, but it hits straight at how hard lying really is. Telling the truth is easy for the brain. You just remember and talk. Lying is different. It means creating a story, keeping it straight, hiding emotions, and watching the other person all at once. That takes mental energy. Research on deception and cognitive load shows that this extra effort makes liars more likely to slip, especially under stress. Silent lie pressure creates that stress without shouting, threats, or long speeches. It uses something much quieter: a question, strong attention, and then nothing. Here is how it works. You ask a clear, simple question. You keep it short and direct, like asking where someone was, who they were with, or whether they did something specific. Then you stop talking. You look at them and let the silence stretch. No nervous jokes, no helping them with words, no rushing to fill the gap. Honest people usually answer and then relax. They might feel a little awkward in the silence, but they do not feel an urgent need to explain more because they know there is nothing to hide. Liars feel something different. The silence feels like a warning sign. Their brain starts screaming that you are suspicious, that you do not believe them, that they have to fix this quickly. To fix it, they start talking. They add details you did not ask for. They mention exact times, people, and reasons that sound slightly forced. They repeat points. They over-explain. They work hard to manage how you see them. This is where mistakes grow. Because the brain is juggling fear, story building, and self-control all at once, contradictions sneak in. Times do not match. Emotions do not fit the situation. Their face may show tiny flashes of fear, anger, or guilt that do not match their calm words. Paul Ekman and other researchers have shown how these micro-expressions and nervous body movements can leak out when someone is under pressure. The dark power of silent lie pressure is that you do not need to know the truth in advance. You are not proving a case like a detective. You are building a trap their own stress will spring. The longer you stay quiet, the louder their mind gets. Some will change parts of the story midway. Some will get angry at your silence and try to flip the blame, accusing you of not trusting them or of being controlling. Others will suddenly switch from details to emotion, trying to guilt you out of your suspicion. All of these are data. The way someone handles that heavy silence tells you almost as much as the words they say. You can use this tactic to protect yourself when something feels off. Instead of arguing with excuses, just ask simple questions and stay calm. Let the other person carry the weight of the conversation. Count slowly in your mind if you feel tempted to talk too soon. At the same time, remember the ethical line. Silent lie pressure can easily become emotional bullying if used just to make someone nervous or to force confessions from a person who has done nothing wrong. The point is not to torture people. The point is to stop being the person who always rushes in to fill the gaps giving liars space to breathe and control the story. When you can hold silence without panic, lies lose a lot of their power over you. Forced explanation. Humiliation. Forced explanation. Humiliation turns an attack back on the attacker without shouting or insults. Most people respond to criticism and rude comments by defending themselves, firing back, or going quiet and feeling hurt. This keeps the attacker in control. They get the reaction they wanted and often gain social power, especially if others are watching. Forced explanation. Humiliation changes that script. Instead of arguing, you calmly ask the attacker to explain exactly what they mean, in detail, as if they are making a serious claim that needs proof. Their quick emotional hit now has to survive slow logical daylight. Imagine someone says you are lazy, useless, or stupid in front of others. The usual impulse is to react, but this tactic asks for something else. You look at them, stay steady, and say something like, "Explain what you mean by that. Be specific." Then you wait. You are not defending. You are not apologizing. You are giving them the floor and expecting them to build a case. That feels very different for them. Their insult was fast and emotional. Now they have to turn it into a clear argument while people are paying attention to their words, not just their tone. Social psychology shows that people care deeply about how they look in front of others. Most want to appear fair, reasonable, and not cruel. When forced to explain an insult step by step, many attackers start to sound petty, exaggerated, or obviously unfair. They repeat themselves. They bring up tiny issues from long ago. They mix in personal jabs that make them look insecure. The more they talk, the more obvious it becomes that this is not a fair complaint, but a personal attack. Their own words slowly move the crowd away from them and toward you. This tactic also pushes the insult from fast thinking into slow thinking. Daniel Kahneman called them System 1 and System 2. System 1 is quick, emotional, and automatic. System 2 is slower, more careful, and logical. Insults live in System 1. Explanations live in System 2. When you require an explanation, you drag their heat into a cooler space where it often falls apart. They now feel pressure instead of you. They may stumble, backtrack, or say they did not really mean it that way. At that point, their power drops and yours rises, and you have not insulted them once. There is another effect. People who like to bully or shame others search for easy targets. They expect anger, tears, or silence. They expect you to play the role of the hurt victim so they can feel strong. When you calmly make them break down their own cruelty in front of others, they are the one who looks exposed and childish. Over time, this reputation spreads. Attackers learn that if they go after you, they will be forced to justify every word, and that experience will probably be uncomfortable and embarrassing. Many will stop trying and look for someone else who reacts the way they want. Forced explanation. Humiliation is powerful, but it also needs control. If you sound sarcastic, mocking, or clearly angry, it can turn into a direct fight and lose its effect. The real strength comes from staying level, almost curious, as if you are giving them a fair chance to prove their point. That calmness highlights how unstable and emotional they are being. Used with care, this tactic protects your dignity and quietly teaches others that your name is not a safe place to throw cheap attacks. 6. Contagious yawn detection. Contagious yawn detection is a quiet way to see who is secretly tuned into you. It does not use questions, tests, or direct confrontation. It uses a basic human reflex, the yawn. Yawning is not only about being tired. Studies suggest it is socially contagious, especially among people who feel some kind of emotional connection or are strongly focused on each other. When you see someone yawn, your brain often copies it without your choice. That simple reflex can reveal who is paying attention to you when they think you are not noticing. The method is simple. In a room, class, meeting, or social event, you perform a clear, natural-looking yawn. You do not fake it in a dramatic way or try to make a scene. You just let it be visible enough for people in your area to see, maybe stretching slightly or tilting your head back. Then you go quiet and observe. Over the next few seconds, watch who starts to yawn as well. The people who had their eyes or attention on you, even if they were pretending to do something else, are more likely to copy the yawn. Their body reacts before their mind can hide it. Research on empathy and mirror neurons supports this. People who are more emotionally sensitive or involved with someone tend to catch their yawns more often. That does not always mean they like you. It can also mean they are watching you because they feel threatened, jealous, suspicious, or obsessed. The key is that their nervous system is tracking you. They may be looking casual, scrolling on a phone, or facing another direction, but if your yawn shows up on their face, they were connected enough to you in that moment for their brain to mirror you. This detection trick can be useful in many situations. In a group, it can show you who is secretly watching you more than anyone else. In a social circle, it can give clues about hidden attraction from someone who acts distant or cold. It can also reveal a quiet rival who pretends not to care about you, but cannot stop tracking your movements and energy. In a tense environment, catching who mirrors your yawn can tell you whose attention you already hold without effort. At the same time, this is not mind reading. People can yawn for many reasons: boredom, tiredness, habit. One shared yawn does not prove deep feelings or plots. You are not looking for a single sign, but for patterns. If the same person often mirrors your yawns or other small actions when you are around, even while acting uninvolved, that is a strong signal their focus sits on you more than they admit. Used carefully, contagious yawn detection becomes a quiet radar that helps you see where hidden attention flows in a room, so you are less blind to who is actually watching. False secret guilt trap. The false secret guilt trap is a tactic that targets people who care about being loyal and trustworthy. It does not start with an attack. It starts with what looks like intimacy. The manipulator chooses a moment that feels private and emotional. Maybe you are talking late at night, or sharing personal stories, or bonding over how others have hurt you. In that moment, they say something like, "I have never told anyone this, but I trust you." Then they share a secret that sounds personal, but is actually low risk, or even completely made up. You feel chosen. You feel special. You feel trusted. Time passes. Later, the same person comes back with a different tone. They look hurt, distant, or cold. When you ask what is wrong, they say they know you told someone their secret. They do not give clear proof. They may even refuse to say who supposedly heard it, or how they know. They just hold firm, with sadness or anger, and repeat that you let them down. For most people with a strong moral sense, this hits hard. Being seen as a traitor or a gossip feels terrible. You search your memory, double-check your conversations, and still come up empty, because you did nothing wrong. Yet the accusation hangs in the air, poisoning how you see yourself. Psychology research on false accusations shows that when people are accused over and over, many start to doubt their own memory, especially if they already fear hurting others. The brain hates a gap between self-image and feedback. If you see yourself as loyal, but someone you care about insists you betrayed them, your mind scrambles to find a way to fix that tension. You might think, maybe I slipped, or maybe I said something that sounded wrong, or maybe I do not remember clearly. Even without evidence, the emotional weight of their disappointment makes you feel guilty, and that guilt starts to control you. This is where the trap tightens. To prove you are not that kind of person, you begin to overcompensate. You defend them more strongly. You share less with others to avoid any risk of betrayal. You agree to demands and favors because you want to show how loyal you are. You might accept unfair blame in new situations, so they do not think badly of you again. Your need to repair your image in their eyes slowly becomes a leash they can pull. They have placed themselves in the role of the judge of your goodness, and you are constantly trying to pass their invisible test. The darkest part is that the original secret may have been fully staged. It might be something they tell many people, or something that has no real impact if it spreads. The goal was not to share. The goal was to set up a future accusation. When they claim you leaked it, you have no way to prove your innocence. Any denial can be framed as more proof that you are dishonest. If you push back too hard, they can act even more injured and say things like, "I cannot believe you are turning this on me." Now you feel guilty for defending yourself, on top of the first guilt they planted. To protect yourself from the false secret guilt trap, pay attention to patterns, not single events. A healthy person who believes you leaked a secret and cares about you will bring clear facts and will listen to your side. A manipulator will stay vague, emotional, and rigid. They will use the accusation to pull more loyalty from you instead of to reach real understanding. You are allowed to say, "You are accusing me of something serious without evidence. I know I did not do this, and I will not carry guilt for something I did not do." If they cannot handle that calm boundary and keep circling back to the same charge, see it for what it is, not a wound they are trying to heal, but a tool they are trying to use. 8. Structured lying system. The structured lying system is what skilled manipulators use when simple excuses and quick lies are not enough. Most people lie in a messy way. They speak fast, change details, and forget what they said last week. That kind of lying is easy to catch. A structured liar does something different. They build lies like a plan. They prepare, rehearse, and shape the story so carefully that it feels smoother and more solid than the truth. This makes honest people doubt themselves while the liar stays calm and confident. The first part is preparation. Research on deception shows that lying on the spot is hard because the brain is doing too many things at once. To reduce that mental strain, a manipulator writes or thinks through the story in advance. They pick a simple main version they can remember clearly. Around that, they add a few sharp emotional details that are easy to hold in mind, like a specific time, a place, or a short scene. They practice this story enough that it starts to feel familiar in their own head, which keeps their body language relaxed when they tell it. Next comes nonverbal control. Many people believe they can spot lies by watching eyes or fidgeting, but research shows most are wrong. Skilled liars know this. They often hold stronger eye contact than honest people, sit still and control their tone. They avoid dramatic movements or sudden changes in expression. They aim for calm, steady, and reasonable, because they know most listeners will trust that look more than nervous truth. Meanwhile, an honest person who is scared or upset might shake, stumble, or look away, which unfairly makes them seem less believable. Then there is emotional targeting. A structured liar does not just tell a story. They adjust it to the listener. If the listener cares a lot about loyalty, the lie will focus on how loyal the liar has been. If the listener is very empathetic, the lie will highlight pain, stress, or trauma to trigger sympathy. If the listener fears conflict, the lie will promise peace and stability. Research on persuasion shows that people are more easily influenced by messages that match their values and fears than by dry facts. The liar uses this to hook into the exact feelings that will quiet your doubts. Another tool is detail stacking. The liar mixes real checkable facts with false parts. They include real locations, real people, and real events around the core lie. When you test small pieces of the story, they seem to match reality, which builds your trust. This takes advantage of the truth bias, the natural human habit of assuming others are honest unless something very obvious breaks that belief. If some details are true, many people will assume the whole story must be true, even when the most important part is completely fake. The darkest effect of the structured lying system is how it can flip reality. An honest person who is caught off guard may sound confused, emotional, or unsure of exact details, even when telling the truth. A liar who is prepared can sound calm, organized, and clear. Most observers will side with the person who seems more controlled. Without knowing it, they reward practice over honesty. This is how skilled manipulators can make victims look crazy, dramatic, or dishonest, while they come off as the sensible voice in the room. To defend yourself, stop equating calmness with truth and emotion with lies. Notice when a story seems almost too smooth or perfectly shaped for your feelings. Ask questions that jump across time instead of following the liar's path. Ask them to retell part of the story later and see if the emotional tone matches, not just the facts. Most of all, remember this: some people plan their lies more carefully than others plan their entire day. Your job is not to outplay every liar, but to stay aware that performance is not proof, and that a well-built lie can feel safer than a messy truth. Repeated confrontation loop. The repeated confrontation loop is a way to drain the power out of someone's anger without fighting back. Most people think that when someone attacks them with complaints, the choices are to defend, argue, apologize, or walk away. All of these give the attacker some control over the scene. They set the topic, the tone, and the speed. The loop flips that control with a very simple move. You keep asking for more. Each time they attack, you calmly say, and let them continue until they run out of weapons and energy. Here is how it feels in real life. Someone comes at you with a complaint about your work, your attitude, your past mistakes, or your personality. Instead of explaining or fighting back, you say, "Okay, what else?" They bring up another issue. You say again, "Anything else?" They dig deeper, maybe reaching back months or years. You still do not defend. You just give them permission to keep going. At first, this can surprise them. Many attackers are ready for resistance, because resistance gives them an emotional push. They are not ready for someone who stands there and calmly invites every hidden resentment into the open. Psychology and therapy research talk about emotional flooding. When someone releases a lot of strong emotion at once, there is a high peak followed by a crash. The repeated confrontation loop encourages the attacker to empty their tank in one long burst. They complain, accuse, exaggerate, and eventually reach smaller, pettier points. They may reveal grudges you never knew they had, or fears and insecurities that sit under their anger. As they keep talking, their own behavior starts to look less controlled and more unreasonable, especially to any outsiders watching. When you stay silent, except for short prompts like "anything else" or "go on," you send two clear signals. First, you are not scared of what they have to say. Second, you are not going to entertain a back-and-forth drama. You are treating their outburst like data collection, not like a real attack on your worth. This calm stance often makes their emotions feel bigger and messier by contrast. They may start to feel embarrassed, tired, or unsure why they are so worked up while you remain centered. There is also a practical benefit. By letting them unload everything, you get a full view of their mind. You hear every complaint at once instead of in small doses over months. You see patterns in what they bring up. Maybe they constantly feel ignored, or maybe they hate being told no, or maybe they blame you for things outside your control. Once they are finally done, you can choose how to respond with a clear head instead of reacting piece by piece while they are still heated. However, this tactic needs emotional strength. It can be hard to listen to unfair or harsh words without jumping in to defend yourself. If you use the loop while secretly boiling inside, you might eventually snap and undo the advantage. The power lies in truly staying in observation mode. You are not agreeing with them. You are not accepting their version as truth. You are just letting them put everything on the table. When they finally stop, often tired and a bit deflated, you can decide whether to address certain points, set boundaries, or simply say, "If that is everything, here is what I am willing to do going forward." The key is that by then the storm is mostly over, and the control of the conversation has quietly shifted to you. 10. Poker face intimidation. Poker face intimidation uses something simple but powerful: emotional stillness, when someone expects a big reaction from you. Most people are used to seeing the effect of their words or actions on others. If they insult you, they expect anger or hurt. If they threaten you, they expect fear. If they give you shocking news, they expect surprise or panic. Those reactions help them feel powerful, justified, or safe. When they get nothing clear from your face, their mind loses its map. They do not know if they are winning or losing, and that uncertainty starts to work against them. Humans read faces all day without thinking about it. Research on emotional contagion and facial feedback shows that people copy and respond to each other's expressions almost automatically. Smiles create ease, frowns create tension, raised voices and dramatic gestures pull others into the same emotional state. When you refuse to join that pattern, you break an unspoken rule. During an outburst, you keep your face neutral, your breathing slow, and your body still. You look at the person, but you do not flinch, cry, shout, roll your eyes, or beg. You do not give them the emotional fuel they were counting on. At first, this can make the other person escalate. They might get louder, meaner, or more dramatic, trying to pull a visible reaction out of you. This is a test. If you break and finally explode, they not only get the reaction they wanted, but can also say you were the one who went too far. If you hold steady, something else starts to happen. They begin to feel like their emotions are hanging in the air with nowhere to land. They have nothing to bounce off. The anger or cruelty they directed at you now has to sit with them. Shame, doubt, or confusion can creep in once the rush of yelling or pushing has no clear response to shape it. High-level negotiators and interrogators train to do something similar. They stay calm while the other person burns through anger or fear. The side that stays regulated usually ends up with more control because clear thinking comes back faster when emotions stay low. In everyday life, poker face intimidation sends the message, "Your outburst does not control my nervous system." For manipulators who live off reactions, that is deeply unsettling. They may rethink how much power they really have over you. It is important to understand that a poker face is not the same as cold revenge or silent treatment. Those are meant to punish or hurt. Poker face intimidation is about self-protection. You are choosing not to feed someone's attempt to control you emotionally. After the storm passes, you can still choose to speak clearly, set boundaries, or even end the relationship if needed. The key is that those choices come from a calm place instead of from panic or rage. Using this tactic takes practice. The body naturally reacts to attacks. Your heart might race, your hands might shake, and your mind might want to shout back or defend every point. Start by focusing on your breathing. Keep it slow and steady. Soften your jaw. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Say little or nothing until the other person is finished. If you must speak, keep your voice low and even. Short lines like "I hear you" or "Are you done?" can be enough to show you are present but not emotionally hooked. There are limits. In some situations, especially where there is real physical danger, staying completely neutral can anger a violent person further. Safety comes first. But in many everyday conflicts, at work, in families, or in relationships, poker face intimidation takes away the reward people get from pushing your buttons. Once they learn that they cannot easily shake you, their desire to use emotional outbursts as a weapon often fades. You become harder to manipulate, not because you fight more, but because you refuse to dance when someone else plays their favorite tune. 11. Bombing dependency. Love-bombing dependency starts like a dream and ends like a cage. At first, it feels like the best connection of your life. Someone appears and gives you everything your heart has been starving for. They text constantly. They stay up late talking. They tell you they have never met anyone like you. They say you are perfect for them, that they feel seen, that you are soulmates, that it is fate you met. They praise your looks, your mind, your pain, your past. It feels intense, fast, and almost too good to be true, and that is the first warning sign. In healthy relationships, closeness grows over time. Trust builds with shared experiences and consistent behavior. With love bombing, the goal is to skip that slow path. Research on narcissistic and abusive relationships shows that love bombing is often the first stage. The manipulator floods your brain with dopamine and oxytocin through attention, affection, gifts, and deep talks. You start to feel high around them. You check your phone all the time. You cannot stop thinking about them. Your nervous system begins to treat their messages, their voice, and their presence as a main source of safety and joy. Once that bond is strong enough, the second phase starts. The hook. The constant affection and attention begin to change. They reply slower. They become moody. They give small criticisms that cut deeper than they should. They might cancel plans at the last minute, then come back with extra sweetness. Sometimes they are loving, sometimes distant, and you cannot predict which version you will get. This is where intermittent reinforcement kicks in. As B.F. Skinner's work showed, rewards that come on an unpredictable pattern create the strongest habits. You start working harder for their approval, doing more to get back to that first intense rush. Now you are set up for control. Because your emotions are tied to their behavior, they can steer you by turning the warmth on and off. If you do something they dislike, they may withdraw, go cold, flirt with others, or accuse you of not caring. If you change to fit what they want, the affection suddenly returns. Your brain starts to connect obedience with relief and disobedience with pain. They might push you to spend less time with friends, drop hobbies, or share more personal secrets. They may pressure you to rush big decisions, like moving in, combining money, or making long-term promises, all while reminding you how special and rare your connection is. Over time, your world shrinks. You depend on them for emotional highs and fear their lows. When they hurt you, you find yourself defending them to others, because you remember how amazing they were at the start. You tell yourself that if you just do better, that version of them will come back for good. This is the deepest lie of love bombing. The perfect beginning was not their true self. It was a mask designed to hook you fast. The coldness, control, and disrespect that show up later are not a mistake. They reveal what was always underneath. To protect yourself, focus less on how intense someone feels at the start and more on how consistent they are over time. Be cautious when someone talks about forever in the first weeks, pushes for total access to your life quickly, or becomes upset when you ask for space or slow pacing. Watch what happens the first time you say no or set a boundary. A healthy person may feel disappointed but stays respectful and steady. A love bomber reacts with drama, guilt trips, or sudden distance to pull you back in line. You deserve love that feels warm and safe, not love that feels like withdrawal when it is missing. If the beginning of a relationship feels like a fireworks show, ask yourself a simple question. What will this look like when the smoke clears? If the answer is fear, confusion, and walking on eggshells, then it was never love. It was a bomb. 12. Ego inflation, then withdrawal. Ego inflation, then withdrawal is a tactic that targets your need to feel valued. It starts with heavy praise and ends with quiet control. At first, the manipulator seems like your biggest fan. They tell you that you are different from everyone else. They say you are smarter, kinder, more talented, or more attractive than people realize. They point out strengths others ignore and act shocked that the world does not fully appreciate you. Around them, you feel bigger, brighter, and more important. Your self-image rises, and you start to see yourself partly through their eyes. Psychology research on contingent self-worth shows that many people base their value on outside feedback. When someone constantly lifts you up, it feels amazing, but it also moves the center of your self-esteem into their hands. During the inflation phase, they might praise you in public, defend you, and talk about your potential. They give you the role of the misunderstood genius, the rare soul, or the person too good for the ordinary crowd. You bond with them because it feels like they finally see the real you that others miss. Then, without clear warning, the withdrawal begins. The compliments slow down or stop. They seem less impressed. They do not react strongly to your successes. They change the subject when you share good news. Maybe they start praising others in front of you instead. They might become cooler in messages, shorter in responses, or busy all the time. The shining spotlight that once followed you goes dark. Your nervous system, which had grown used to that steady stream of validation, feels the drop like a crash. Doubt creeps in. Did I do something wrong? Am I less special now? Did I disappoint them? This gap between how they used to treat you and how they treat you now creates powerful discomfort. To close it, many people start chasing the old version of that person's attention. They work harder, share more, try to impress, please, or fix things. They accept criticism they would normally question, just to get a small piece of the old praise back. The manipulator now has leverage. If you behave the way they want, they give small hits of validation again. If you push back, they pull away further. Your emotions swing between relief when they approve and anxiety when they go cold. In power situations, this cycle is especially dangerous. A boss, teacher, coach, or mentor can use ego inflation then withdrawal to keep you desperate for their approval. You might stay late, take on extra work, accept unfair treatment, or tolerate disrespect because you are still chasing the first version of them who told you that you were amazing. In relationships and friendships, the same pattern can make you ignore red flags, justify bad behavior, and blame yourself whenever things feel off. You are not just afraid of losing them. You are afraid of losing the version of yourself you only feel when they are shining that bright light on you. The hardest part to accept is this. The person they made you feel like at the start was real, but the source was wrong. Those qualities were always yours. They did not create your value. They only pointed at it loudly, then used your attachment to that feeling to gain control. Once you see that, the spell starts to break. You can choose to keep that strong image of yourself while cutting their control over it. To protect yourself, watch for extreme swings. Be careful with people who raise you onto a high pedestal very fast and then suddenly act like you are nothing special. Ask yourself whether your mood and confidence rise and fall too much based on one person's reaction. Healthy respect feels steady, not dramatic. Real supporters might praise you, but they do not make you feel like you disappear when they are not clapping. Build a base of self-worth that stands even when praise goes quiet. The less your identity depends on a single person's spotlight, the harder it is for anyone to use this tactic to pull your strings. 13. Attraction distance tests. The attraction distance test uses a simple fact about human bodies. They react to space before words. Every person has invisible zones around them. Strangers usually stay farther away. Friends and people we like are allowed closer. Someone who feels unsafe is kept at a distance. This is called personal space. Edward T. Hall's work on proxemics showed that how close people stand or sit is not random. It is guided by comfort, culture, and emotion. The attraction distance test watches those tiny shifts in distance to read what someone is really feeling under polite behavior. Here is how it works. You do not jump into someone's face or touch them without consent. That is not a test. That is disrespect. Instead, during a normal interaction, you very slightly reduce the space between you. You might take a small step closer while talking, lean a bit toward them when you laugh, or choose a seat next to them instead of across the room. Then you stop and pay attention. You are not staring or acting creepy. You are just calmly noticing what their body does next, without forcing anything. If the person feels comfort or attraction, their body often stays where it is, or even moves a little closer. They might lean in too, angle their body toward you, or shoulders may stay open. They seem relaxed in that distance. If they feel discomfort, boredom, or hidden rejection, you will often see the opposite. They lean back, they shift their chair away, they turn their torso or feet away from you. They might suddenly remember something they have to do and leave. Their body is voting no, even if their words stay nice. This matters because many people are too polite to say what they really feel. Someone might smile, laugh at your jokes, and act friendly while secretly wanting more space. Others might play cool or shy, but their body keeps drifting closer each time you are near. Words can lie or hide, but distance is harder to fake over time. The attraction distance test listens to what the body says, not just what the mouth says. Used in a dark way, this tactic can encourage people to push into others' space, to see who is attracted to them, without caring about comfort or consent. That is not power. That is disrespect and can become harassment. The healthy use is different. It helps you notice signals that protect everyone. If someone keeps pulling away when you move slightly closer, you can take that as a quiet no and give them more room, instead of chasing or pressuring them. If someone seems to relax and move closer when you are near, you can see that as a sign to continue a respectful, mutual connection. The key lesson is simple. Believe the distance. Do not argue with what a person's body tells you over and over. If they step back, let them go. If they stay near, treat that closeness with care. Reading space this way makes you less likely to misread politeness as attraction or mistake quiet interest for disinterest. It keeps your social radar honest and helps you act in ways that respect both your own feelings and the silent messages sent by other people's bodies. 14. White knight dependency creation. White knight dependency creation begins with rescue and ends with control. The person using this tactic does not come across as cruel at first. In fact, they may look like the only one who truly cares. They show up when you are struggling. They listen when others are busy. They offer money, advice, time, or protection. If someone upsets you, they step in and defend you. If you fail, they hurry to fix the damage. You start to see them as the hero in your life, the person who always comes through when things go wrong. At first, this can feel safe and loving. Martin Seligman's work on learned helplessness shows that people who feel they cannot change their situation stop trying. The white knight uses the opposite path to reach a similar result. They solve so many of your problems that you slowly stop believing you can solve problems without them. It is not always obvious. They may say things like, "You have already been through enough, let me handle this," or "I just worry you will get hurt." On the surface, it sounds caring. Underneath, it sends a steady message. You are not capable on your own. Over time, they start to overdo it. They fill out forms you could fill yourself. They speak for you in conversations. They jump in whenever you face a challenge, even small ones. When you try to act independently, they might correct you, warn you, or quietly redo whatever you did. They may say that others are not to be trusted, that the world is dangerous, or that you do not see risks clearly enough. Slowly, your confidence shrinks. You begin to second-guess your choices and feel nervous doing things without their opinion or help. Once this pattern is strong, the price of rescue becomes clear. The White Knight expects loyalty, agreement, and access. They might become upset if you take advice from someone else, or spend time with people who do not treat them as the center of your world. They can guilt you by reminding you of all the times they were there for you. If you disagree with them, they may suggest that you are ungrateful or that you would fall apart without them. The fear is no longer only about life's problems. It is about losing the person you now feel you need in order to face those problems. This dynamic often appears in codependent and narcissistic relationships. A parent might keep an adult child dependent by always managing money or decision-making, then using that dependence to control choices. A boss might constantly step in to save an employee, then make that employee feel they owe their entire career to the boss's kindness. A partner might push you to let them handle everything, then treat any sign of independence as betrayal. The more you lean on them, the more they quietly pull away your belief that you can stand by yourself. The cruel twist is that you may defend this person passionately if anyone criticizes them. Admitting they are controlling would mean admitting you are not as capable and free as you want to believe. To protect your pride, you might say things like, "They just care a lot," or "They are the only person I can count on." The cage is built from your own loyalty as much as from their behavior. To protect yourself, start watching not only what someone does for you, but what happens when you do not need them. Can you say, "I have got this," and have them truly back off without sulking or warning you that you will fail? Do they teach you how to handle things on your own, or do they always keep the final control in their hands? Do you feel stronger and more capable after being around them for a long time, or more small and scared? Real support makes you more independent over time, not less. A genuine helper may step in during a crisis, but they also celebrate your steps toward handling life alone. A White Knight needs you weak so they can stay the hero. When you feel that kind of dependence forming, take small, steady steps to build your own skills and supports outside of them. You do not owe anyone your freedom just because they once stood between you and the fire. 15. Adrenaline misattribution bonding. Adrenaline misattribution bonding is a tactic that turns raw nervous system energy into fake chemistry. It works by mixing two things that feel similar in the body but mean very different things in real life: danger and desire. When you are scared, stressed, or thrilled, your heart beats faster, your breathing changes, your palms may sweat, and your thoughts speed up. When you feel strong attraction, many of those same body signals appear. The brain has to decide what those signals mean. A dark manipulator learns how to put you into high arousal states, then stand close enough that your brain tags those intense feelings to them. The classic Dutton and Aaron bridge study showed this clearly. Men who crossed a shaky high bridge were more likely to feel attracted to a woman they met right after, compared to men who crossed a safe bridge. Their bodies were full of adrenaline from the fear, but their minds labeled that energy as interest in the person in front of them. Adrenaline misattribution bonding takes that same process and applies it to relationships, friendships, and situations where someone wants you to feel a special connection that is not really about true compatibility. In practice, this can look like a partner who always wants drama. They pick fights, create jealous scenes, threaten to leave, or vanish and then come back with intense apologies. Your body is constantly jumping between fear of loss, anger, and relief. When you finally make up, the emotional crash feels deep and powerful. You might say to yourself, "No one has ever made me feel this much, so it must be real love." In reality, your nervous system is just exhausted from all the spikes. The calm, steady person in your life might feel boring next to the chaos, not because they are wrong for you, but because your body has been trained to think peace equals emptiness. The same trick can show up in the early stages of dating. Someone might always suggest horror movies, extreme sports, fast driving, heavy drinking, or risky situations. During those moments, your arousal is high from the environment. If they position themselves as your comfort, your partner in thrill, or the person you cling to when things get scary, your brain can misread that rush as a sign that you are deeply bonded to them. You remember how alive you felt with them, but you forget that most of that feeling came from the situation, not their character. Adrenaline misattribution bonding can even be used by leaders, influencers, or groups. They expose you to heavy fear about the outside world, constant talk of threats, enemies, and crises, and then present themselves as the only safe place or solution. Your body, full of anxiety, feels relief in their presence or in their approval. That relief then feels like loyalty, respect, or love. In truth, it is mostly your nervous system calming down from fear they helped create or exaggerate. To protect yourself, you need to learn to separate how intense something feels from how healthy it is. Ask simple questions. When I remove the fights, danger, or chaos from this connection, what is left? Do I like who this person is when everything is calm? Do I respect their values, choices, and behavior when nothing dramatic is happening? Do we enjoy quiet, simple time together, or does it always have to be a roller coaster? Healthy bonds can handle boredom. Toxic bonds depend on emotional spikes to survive. Also notice how your body reacts when you think about seeing someone. Do you feel a warm, steady excitement? Or do you feel tight, nervous, and on edge, like you are bracing for something? Strong love does not feel like walking into an exam you did not study for. That is anxiety, not chemistry. If someone always seems to be at the center of your biggest highs and lows, step back and ask if they are creating situations that keep your adrenaline up. Real connection grows strongest in clarity, safety, and respect, not in constant storms that leave you shaken and calling it passion. Now that you have seen all 15 tactics, something important should be clear. None of them need high intelligence to work. They do not rely on you being weak, stupid, or broken. They rely on you being human. Now you have language for what was happening to you. That alone changes the game. When someone gently defends the person you dislike, you can see the pull toward argument reversal, sabotage, and choose not to go all in. The real power here is not about using these tactics yourself. If you choose to copy them, be honest about what that says about who you are becoming. The real power is in keeping your reactions from being free property for anyone who knows how to push. That means staying calm when silence is used against you. It means not defending yourself against every insult, but sometimes making the attacker explain until they look ridiculous. It means noticing when your self-worth is riding on a single person's praise and pulling it back into your own hands. And I'll see you in the next video.